Putting this on. Makers are visual people. Makers are tactile people. So you're going to see a lot of pictures. I'm going to be fidgeting a lot. All right. So I got my tools right here for today. But my goals today are simple. I couldn't memorize all this if I tried. I'm a maker, not a speaker. So bear with me. I want to explain to you what making is and is not. So a lot of people are losing that distinction. I want you to convince all of you, I'm your drug dealer, this is my drug, I want to get you all addicted to making things. And I want to prove to you how important it is. If you're a maker yourself, share that knowledge. I'm going to show you a lot of pictures. So first, let's define what making is and is not. So making things is not customizing. Okay, you don't take your 2011 mediocrity sedan, throw some bling at it, and end up with something like that. All right? Making things is not bolting on parts that have been made by the millions by someone else. That's customizing. That's what you do to your Christmas tree. All right? Calling it one of a kind is just not honest. When you compliment a guy on his brand new Corvette, his Ferrari, you're not complimenting him. You're complimenting the engineers, the designers, the makers, the people that put their blood, sweat, and tears into that product. All right? Following instructions is not creating things. You're doing the same thing some other people have done it. You've done it over and over again yourself. It's accessorizing, it's assembling things. You know, it's just not the same. Creating things virtually is also not the same. You can spend a weekend playing a video game. When you turn off that video game machine, what have you achieved? It's gone. What do you have to show for it a week later? Okay? It's very different. So it is not, even as kids, we can all follow instructions. It's not the same as using your imagination. So what is making things? Making things is using your hands, your skills, with or without tools, some raw materials, to create something original. Regardless of your age or the object it is you created, it's about your imagination that's what matters the most. It's the end result is something you can be proud of. I mean, that's pretty fascinating. Did I skip one ahead? Sorry. That wasn't me. So,
go back.
Am I good?
Yes. You're good.
Blame the technology. I mean, this is truly something. Look at the kid smiling. You can see the pride in his face. All right? Look at that slightly bigger kid next to him. That halo suit. That dude is the winner of that costume party. I guarantee you. Next to all the costumes we buy at the big box stores. All right? So, building models. It may seem childish, right? I guarantee you, that child will someday grow up to make things like this. Things he'll be proud of. And whether he works for that company as a design engineer, or a machinist, or a fabricator, or he built it himself, that's someone who say, I made this. That's pretty cool. All right? So why is it that at a young age we encourage creativity? We tell little kids, oh, little Johnny, that's a great picture. That's awesome. It's beautiful. Let's put it up on the fridge. But about grade 5, we stopped doing it. I'm sorry, Johnny, you're in school now. The answer is either A or B, or you're wrong. We destroyed creativity. Now it's pretty much teach the test. Why did we stop telling people that making things is so important? In my world, we must allow creativity, making things, a class on making things from kindergarten to college graduation. Can you imagine going to school, there's a class called Making Things, you walk into a room full of stuff, please, let's make something. That's creativity. We're killing those classes. They're almost all gone. Let's bring back wood shop, metal shop, call it whatever you want, justify it any way you can. We must get out of the system of right and wrong and leave creativity behind. All right? So, these pictures up here, the top two I pulled off the internet. The bottom one, I made this in 1984, the little model. I was 14 years old. Still have the same addiction. I made that bike. All right? And a lot of the parts on that bike are around the world now at my customers, or on my customers' bikes. And you know what? It feels pretty cool to make things. I love what I do. It gives you a good feeling inside to be a maker. So you don't start out building the Taj Mahal. You start out with a birdhouse. You don't start out building the space shuttle. You start out with paper airplanes. Making things is about bonding and teamwork, too. Makers and groups learn at exponential rates. Get a bunch of creative people together, and things happen. For example, the guy on the right made a potato cannon. Yeah, you shove a big potato or a cantaloupe in there, and it goes pretty far. These guys in a team make pumpkins go almost a mile. That's pretty damn impressive. So exponential learning. Pumpkin chunking. It's awesome. It's a bunch of rednecks that get together and make a vegetable disappear. Right? So, I mean, we're all smiling, right? So being a maker brings joy to others. Right? It's very important. And as much as I encourage all of us to get our kids into making, start them young, you know, get them addicted early, no, regardless of age, regardless of gender, regardless of nationality, your color, hair, anything else, the tools, the shop, the skills don't matter. We have equal access, for the most part, to start making things. So, and you know what? No matter what those things are, all right? It's about following your passion. It's about following your vision. It's about what you want to make. It's about your crazy ideas. I mean, okay, we get a good chuckle, right? I mean, that's somebody's mom and dad. but I guarantee you that the people who made these things are proud of them. There's passion in there. There's feeling in there. They made exactly what came out of their imagination, not out of a catalog. Let's make that distinction, right? These are truly original ideas, all right? From the John Deere trike to the houseboat spaceship thing to those are reindeer, and looks like a box from Kleenex, all right? And you know what? The pleasure it brings others is a nice side effect. And there's another side effect to making things. It's about being able to afford the things that you normally could not. All right? I could never afford a race car, but I could build one for a lot less. Back when high-def big screen projectors came out, they were 8, 10 grand. I built my own for $900 bucks. Tubing bender. I used my tools to make more tools. That's like extra street cred in the maker community. That was awesome. That was awesome. My ultimate project has been my dream workshop. I wish everyone had one of these, and I'm working on that. But that project, I could not afford it. With the help of my friends and my family, we did everything except pour the concrete and drywall. We did electrical, everything we did ourselves. And you notice that I kind of put the DIY versus purchase price on all this, and this one's missing. I know my wife's going to see this presentation. I want to stay married. So now we have a good idea of what making things really means. But let's discuss why it's so critical to our country. And I'm being selfish here. It's about America, okay? I am an immigrant to this country, legal one. I came here long ago. This country gave my family, myself, huge opportunities. Everyone has those same opportunities since you're in this room today. From the wheel forward, here's what's happening. Throughout human history, we've been very good at making things. We've had to survive. We no longer have to. We're losing that art. And it is an art, especially in America. Our history is all about making things. We were the makers of the things the world wanted. You know, when someone, but we're losing our skills. In other words, we went all the way here. We have this. We're losing our skills. When someone comes to you and asks you for a plus screwdriver, we should all be concerned. Okay? We need more hands-on people for our success. All right? So, a few famous people. We became important because we made the things the world wanted. That's how America became great. Franklin's bifocals. You have this gorgeous woman. Come on, bonus points. Eddie Lamar. She invented a secret communication system. A babe in maker skills. That's... all right. The gentleman over there, Morgan, his last name is Morgan, he created a breathing apparatus to save miners. That's how the foundations of scuba began. This lady, Donovan, up here, she invented something very important. That invention takes care of a lot of shit. And where do you start? Where do you start with Edison? There he is, golden light bulb. Where do you start with Edison? I mean, think about it. If it wasn't for Edison, TED wouldn't exist. No phone lines, no internet, no lights. All right, so we own some. That guy's got a lot of street cred in the maker community. He's like the ultimate. But the most important thing about America is the fact that we all have the same opportunity. All right, but we're losing those opportunities because vocational classes, hands-on classes, are disappearing at an alarming rate. Try to find a vocational class in a high school within a 100-mile radius. It's not existing. We're going to lose our advantage as Americans. But keep in mind, too, that these historical figures did not start out in megacorporations as engineers. They started out in a shed, in a garage, in a workshop, in a little space with just a little bit of downtime, which the previous presentation was perfect for me, because I want to show you the value of downtime later on. For some, it was about literature and art and the humanities. For others, it's about tools, a little bit of creativity, and their imagination. By the way, Steve Jobs, his garage, working on something. Let's be honest, it was Woz that did most of the work. But people like the Wright brothers, Harley Davidson, Walt Disney, a couple of guys named Steve from Cupertino started out in little sheds. So you don't need a massive structure to become a maker. All these products that they made became a critical part of our success and a big reason as to why making things is important to our country. Now, it's in our DNA. It's not something we can buy at the store. It's built into all of us over thousands of years. It's where a lot of us got our names. The blacksmith, the goldsmith, the carpenter, you know, Karen, carpenter, or even Sherman, or in my case, shearman, man with shears from the German. Now, if you don't think it's in our DNA, man with shears, I'm screwed. My mom's a hairdresser. My dad's a toolmaker. What else could I be? So that worked out really nice for me. We need to keep these skills alive. Whether we're a manufacturing powerhouse or not, in the future, we need to have hands-on skills. But I see fewer and fewer makers in our younger generation. We need to change that. Because if we don't change that, if you stop being innovators, we stop being creators and makers of new products, we're going to go down. The world will no longer need us. They'll go elsewhere to do their shopping. What are we going to be left with? When we give up those abilities to other countries, we lose our independence. We rely on them. No longer do they rely on us. And let's be honest here. That's what made us who we are today. Others relying on us. We cannot keep coming up with ideas and having them manufactured over there because they're going to say, you know, idea guy, we've got enough of our own idea guys. And we have our your factories now too. You're screwed. We don't need you anymore. Manufacturing might leave. But having those skills is critical. If we're going to keep designing the things, they're going to manufacture. Right? I work with mechanical engineers. They drop stuff I could never make. So we are running out of places for people to learn these skills, and we have to stop that attrition. So, our country. Now, our careers. All right, we're not all makers, obviously. I wish you were. It would be great for me. But it's not about our country. It's also about our jobs. Being a maker can help you succeed at work no matter what it is you do. Really, it can have nothing to do with your job, but making things has huge benefits. And if the theory goes, if it is something you do for work that's also your passion, it's no longer work. If you love what you do, it's no longer work. It's your love of your life, you enjoy it. And for me, it's a theory. It's not a theory, it's a fact. I love what I do. I get to make things, and now I get to share that knowledge with others. I mean, it's a win-win for me. And I wish to share this stuff with more people. So let's quickly discuss why it's important to your career. So again, if it's nothing to do with your job, I want to keep you from staring at monitors, just like the previous video showed you. I want you to turn that stuff off, because making things is one of the most relaxing and de-stressing things you can do. You have a hectic world, the phones are ringing off the hook, everyone's paging you. Close the door, sit down, concentrate on one task. All right? And that gentleman right there fixing the Jeep. Think about him. Look at that little girl. He's fixing her Jeep. So when he's done, he's going to have a very happy daughter. When he goes to work the next day, he's going to work as the greatest dad. And he's going to do a better job. Nothing to do with his job, but he's going to be a happy employee that day, be more productive and be happier. So it's important. It's counterintuitive. Work is work. But when you get away from work, if you're fulfilled there, work goes better. All right? Now, it's not just about you. It can be yourself with others. If you're in a group setting, no matter what it is, grandfather and granddaughter, mom helping a drawing, it's all about together or alone, you're making, you're creating. All right? So, in my career, 25 years in and around making things, let's skip one, there he is. All right. The best engineers I've ever met are makers. They get away from the theoretical and they do a lot of the practical. On the weekend, they create remote control cars, they paint, woodworking, gardening is the ultimate in making. Jefferson did a lot of gardening. He created new species of apples. That's making in my book. Tools, hands, dedication. The reasoning is simple because that practical hands-on experience translates to work. If you can focus on a hobby, you can focus at work. If you can learn a skill as a hobby and use it at work, you're going to be that much better. Working in group projects, Working on a project in groups makes you a better team player. Again, translates to better for your career, no matter what your career is. I encourage engineering students to spend time down with me in the machine shop to get their hands dirty. Don't be so theoretical. Come down and find out just how difficult it is to make what you drew in your fancy software. You'll find out reality really fast. And your bosses will know when you go and make your first drawing at your first job. You know, I want their resumes to include a portfolio. I mean, my portfolio is pictures. Here's what I've done. Who cares where I've worked? This is what I've achieved. I want them to have the same thing in their portfolios when they graduate, is here's what I've done. There's no gray area. I'm not sure if you worked and you're the right fit, but oh, you made this, and we make those. Come on in. You got yourself a job. Okay, now, the most important thing, why it's important for our souls. All right, we've all smiled a couple times in this video. The biggest reason is this problem. We are becoming a disposable society. Things no longer have value to us. We are getting accustomed to buying things that we just, oh, this is awesome. Did you see my new phone? 2 weeks later, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not going to mention it. This has no value to me. Did I just click something? Oh, okay, I'm okay. This has no value to me. That super cool new phone is gone 6 months later. It's junk. 2 minutes, I better hurry up. We have no pride in ownership because we didn't make it. It's not ours. We paid someone for it. They made it. They might be proud of it. No emotion, no attachment. Kids don't care about your new toy. They care about the next new toy. Yeah, we should change that. It's not good for us. Once you find your desire to learn something and make something, you might find your own path to happiness. Let me just jump around here. So, making things. Back up a little bit. Hold on a second. You know, this technology thing, I'm still trying to figure out myself. Stay. Good projector. All right. That truck's not a beat-up old truck. It's an RC model. It's someone spent 100 hours in making. That Abe, that's another costume that's going to win some prizes. That's a handmade piece of furniture. You take pride. You take joy. You show it off. You're not going to show off your IKEA dresser. It ain't going to happen. All right? So there are a million different things you can make. Can you stop it? It's not. All right, we're good. There are a million different things you can make, and all of them can be as unique as you. Making something yourself, you have pride, you have value, you have satisfaction. No longer things in your house are identical to millions of others. They are unique to you. Relaxing, downtime is another excellent benefit to making things yourself. Whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, lock the door, throw away the key, and enjoy yourself. Now, the most powerful words a human being can say, I know there's a lot of phrases to this, but in my world is, I made this. Watch a joy in a child's eye when he brings you that picture of a dinosaur, that little Lego piece. But as you can see from the photo, that joy applies to any age, any gender. Right? And it's a wonderful thing. I want other people to experience that same thing. My dream is to have a workshop in a community where all of us can go, like a 24-hour fitness, to join, come in there. I give you all the tools and the people to show you how to do it, and we come together and we make things. A place to reignite the maker revolution, create more Edisons, Franklins, and Lamars, a place where anyone can become everyday extraordinary. Now, last one. Now that you know the importance of making things, I want you to go out there and do me just 3 small favors. All right, I don't think I'm the only one here that's asked you to do anything today so far. Number 1, go out and learn a skill. Number 2, if you have a skill, share it with someone else. Okay? And that was number 2. Number 3, encourage schools to bring back these classes. Fight for vocational education, whether it be for a career or for our own good. Let's bring back getting your hands dirty. It's critical. And most importantly, I want you all to go out there and learn and make something. Thank you.